What's going on, people? Welcome to another Toronto Hoop Talk live stream. My name is Alam, and today I got a I got a stream for you guys that I'm really excited about. Um, if you guys were here last year for the FIBA stuff, I'm sure you were able to tell that that's probably the most excited I've been to do content. So, fitting with that, the Olympic stuff that we're about to do this year is definitely something I'm super excited to give to the people. Shout out to everybody that's watching this live. Anybody that might watch this on replay, you're very appreciated as well. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you run those numbers up because you know that helps with the algorithm. But yeah, if you tapped into any of the international stuff last year, you would know that I don't ever do this shit alone. I had to bring some friends with me. So for now, we got Nico. Eddie will be joining us a little bit later. But yeah, welcome to the stream, Nico.
What's
Olympic
good? What's good?
Olympic basketball.
We're here finally.
Bro, I've been waiting so long. Ever since FIBA ended, I've been like I've had
On
like withdrawal
time.
symptoms where I've been itching.
Hey man, international basketball. It's just special. Honestly, it's just special. It's
And the
nice to
FIBA, the
watch.
FIBA was a pretty big tease too because we didn't even get all the athletes. Like we got a
Absolutely.
handful of hoopers, but there was a bunch missing it. And we'll definitely get into that. We got some stacked rosters. It'll be a lot of fun to get through these teams. So we'll do it the way we did last year. I got all the squads pulled up. Now I'll put it up on the screen real quick. Um, we're gonna start with Group A, and I think they order them in alphabetical order. So the little setup
Yeah.
I got here is we can look at the team here with Australia, and then bang, I got the FIBA right here. I got the FIBA
Wow.
standings from last year. So as you can see, Australia they finished 10th last year. They were 3-2, ups and
Hmm.
downs, a plus 48 in 5 games. So they had some strong performances and some weak performances. But if you look at this team, right, there's not a whole lot about this team that's new. So they've been had Patty Mills, Ingles, Delavadova, Exum. I guess you could say their up and coming talent is what Dyson Daniels and who else? Josh Green.
Um.
Josh Green.
Yeah.
But that's about it. So when I look at Australia, right, I expect kind of just more of the same compared to what we saw in FIBA. Like they're a team that historically, has the potential to give good performances. But honestly, I expect them to kind of just be like a above average team, like the way they were in FIBA. That's what I expect from them in the Olympics.
Yeah. I think out of this group of death, they might be the team that gets cut loose here, just because the the, the the big problem with them, they got a bunch of like new young guys playing like their first international tournament. When we talk about Giddy or like we talk about Dyson, it's just when your core guys are that inexperienced in these type of tournaments and in like international basketball as a whole,
Yeah.
it might be very damaging, especially when your vets are just extremely older and like way past their primes. Except Joe Ingles. I feel like Joe Ingles still got it a little bit.
No, I mean
but
they still got their Patty Millses and their Joe
absolutely.
Ingles and Delavadovas, but
But they
yeah, I just
definitely
think
have a lot to learn and a lot to grow with this team. I just don't think they're gonna be there yet.
but yeah, like I said, all the international basketball stuff, I don't do it alone. I always got to bring some friends with me. So we got tapping in from a completely different
Oh,
time zone, tapping in from 2 a.m. local time. Shout out to Eddie.
what's
My
good, Eddie?
dog. That's all good, bro. You know what? This is a lifesaver because we're actually working too, and this is like the last hour, which is always like the dead zone of whether or not you just gonna tap out completely or like give some
Yeah.
some kind of effort. So
You're
this is
working
this
West
is
Coast time,
saves me. Yeah, yeah. It's how it
bro.
was. It was part of the agreement of me being out here. Like when I got back into work before because I head back in like a month.
Yeah,
They're like, yeah, so that back half is gonna be tricky for you because we're gonna need you back in some capacity. So I'm
Oof.
just monitoring though, but it's like that's the time where you really like start nodding out, bro,
Yeah,
and
still
you
work.
might just fall asleep on the keyboard. So it's
yeah.
all good. But
We're
shout
gonna
out to
we're gonna
y'all.
make sure that you're up to clock out. We're gonna make sure that
Hey,
doesn't
I
happen.
love it. I love it. That's why y'all my dog. That's why I fuck with
Yes,
y'all.
Hell
sir.
yeah,
Yes,
hell yeah,
sir.
yeah. But you tapped in right in time too, because we're just talking about the first team. We're talking about Australia, and I'm looking
Mhm.
at this team and like the way I got it set up here. We got the rosters here, and then I switch over to the other tab, and I got the standings from the last FIBA. So they finished
Okay.
10th. They were 3-2. Kind of just like a above average team, had their ups and downs, and I expect more or less just that again in the Olympics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're one of those teams where like you can just see the way they play is grandfathered in.
Yeah,
Like it's the main difference I always say about I think people who watch this type of sport understand about why the US struggles compared to the rest of these teams when it comes to this time.
yeah,
Because these dudes have been playing in the same exact system since they started playing the game itself, you know?
yeah,
And the only thing is, like, usually Australia had like that old veteran team, and like you look at this team, and the oldest dude being Patty Mills is like making me feel old. But and I see Dellavedova, that's crazy. Yeah, so they got some, but like they were always a veteran kind of team.
yeah.
Like this is gonna be interesting having somebody like Josh Giddey kind of run the show. Dyson Daniels, and I like him as an individual, but I don't even think he understands like how to play yet for himself. Like
Yeah.
I don't even think he knows what he's really good at. So, it's
Even
tough, bro.
even if you think of the skill sets, like Patty Mills wants the rock, Giddy wants the rock, and Daniels probably wants the rock too. So like how are all these guys gonna really come together as a team and play in a system where two of them has to be off the ball, while the one guy gets the ball. So yeah, I think it's a tricky situation. I think you could say they're kind of caught between two generations, right? They have this old guard with Ingles and Delhi and Patty Mills, and then they have this like the old guard's not good enough to carry, and the new guard's not established yet. So you're kind of at this halfway point where this probably isn't the right tournament for this team to thrive.
Yeah, I think that's the essential problem with these people because, you know, the cats that get caught in the mid range in terms of age and career progression, I
Yeah,
feel like their contributions are not substantial enough for this team to work.
I agree. And also,
So
I'm seeing here, there's a couple players on this team from a team called the Tasmanian Jack Jumpers.
I think that's in
And
the NBL over there in
I
Australia.
guess so. But bro, Jack Jumpers is a great name. J.R. Smith should be on that team because all he does is
That's
Jack
crazy.
Jumpers.
Fred Van Vliet, J.R. Smith,
Bro, all the chuckers need, if you have a green light, that should be your team.
Tremont Waters.
Dude, I might have to get a Jack
Yo.
Jumpers jersey. That's
Throw
a
Josh
great
Giddey,
name.
bro. I don't even care.
Let's just fucking scrap whatever mascot they have, and then just put J.R. Smith with the red eye meme, bro. You're good
That's
to
it.
go. That's it. That's it. That's crazy.
That's
J.R.
it.
on one knee doing the.
Yeah, yeah.
Anything is possible.
Jack Jeffries. Oh my god, no, that's crazy.
Now their rebrand is
That's
set. They don't have to like trip too hard about whatever their
Yeah,
future
it's
is for
a
their team,
job.
bro. They can go viral and everything. They can really get established as a team. Tasmania Jack Jumpers. That might be my favorite
That's
team, like outside
That's
of the NBA.
That's a tough ass name. That's it.
That's
I'm a
tough.
fan. I'm a fan.
I'm definitely a fan. We're gonna keep it pushing in this group of death. We're gonna get right into it. We got the Canadian team next. My big thing about this team is like obviously I saw most of these players play last year in the FIBA, but I think we're gonna see actually a full rotation that has only one player that's not in the NBA. I think Kem Birch is the only player that plays who's not in the NBA, and he was just here. But yeah, like
and Melvin, I think too, right?
I don't know if Melvin's gonna get minutes like when the games really get serious. Maybe he will though. We'll see. But yeah, because the thing is like we can play Trey Lyles as our four off the bench, right? And we can play Nembhard instead of I don't even know who the guard was off the bench last year, but I liked how we played last year. I like that our team is stronger now. Having Nembhard off the bench, I think that'll be really good. Like I think Nembhard and Jamal Murray kind of carrying when Shai's off the court, that'll keep our guard play really strong. Honestly, like the biggest issue you could say with this team is like we talk about chemistry being a big thing for international basketball. Jamal Murray really hasn't had a chance to play a lot with these players. Like even in the build up to this tournament, I think he was excused for personal reasons for a while, and then he came back for the friendly games before the Olympics. He only played in one of the games that was televised. Apparently he played he started against Brazil in a behind closed doors friendly, which I didn't even know they did in basketball. I thought that was some football shit. But
Yeah.
He played 7 minutes for Canada, like in a televised friendly. He played off the bench, so I don't know. Like it's just we're kind of. I don't think Jamal Murray would ever step on a court and not be a big part of the team, but that's a big part of our team where we don't really know how he fits next to pieces. Now, I think because he's used to being a number 2, that'll help playing next to a guy like Shea. Like he's not somebody who always is used to having the ball. But yeah, that's kind of the wild card with this team is that how are we going to play Jamal Murray? This is a team that obviously played a lot of big games last year in the FIBA, and they have established rotations that don't include Jamal Murray. So now they're kind of like, when you're adding something to something that worked, and then maybe it doesn't work, and now you're looking at the new piece like, like maybe we don't need you. I just think it's kind of a weird dynamic. But aside from that, I really like this team. Everybody talks about this group being the group of death, but it's like, we're the biggest reason it's the group of death. Like that's how I feel about this team. Like, yeah, of course we're playing good teams. Yeah, they're a problem. But we're a problem too. We got to see them, but they got to see us as well. So that's how I feel about this team, man. Like, every time they step on the court, I feel like at the very minimum we can give anybody a fight. So I feel good, but again, we'll see. That Jamal Murray, that's a bit of a wild card, but we'll see.
I'd like to add a little side note.
Yeah.
I was just looking up on your coaching staff, and I think this might be the second best coaching staff in the world. Jordi Fernandez is your head coach, but Nate Bjorken is the assistant for this team. I did not know that. And honestly, like I can tell, like now it makes sense because I think you guys might have the best perimeter D scheme in terms of international basketball, especially with the players that you have to do it with. But I feel like Nate's schemes really work.
I mean, push comes to shove, right? I feel like when things got rough, we could just say, okay, throw Lou Dort on the court and then tell Dylan Brooks to just be annoying. And between those two things, you get some good perimeter defense.
You also have Shea in there, which is maybe
him too, 100%.
Might be the biggest threat out of the three. He's very sneaky.
100%.
But yeah, I think you were dead on. I think you guys are the best team in this group. I feel this is like the best group, but I think you are the best team in the best group. So like you guys are the team to beat. But yeah, I feel like it's just about showing why you're the best in these groups, because you can something can happen like in the I'm gonna turn it to soccer. The World Cup, like with Germany, for example. Like they were the team to beat and they got beat. You can't play down to the competition here. But I feel like that won't be a problem just because of the coaching you have and the guys that you have. There are a lot of dogs on the team. But yeah, it's just about honestly staying a front runner.
Yep.
So, I think, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I feel bad for all the guards who got to go up against this team, dog.
Tell me about
like
it.
that. Like you sub in one dude and then it gets another tear comes off the bench. It's fucked. It's gonna sound crazy me saying this, but shout out to Dylan Brooks. Like I haven't spoke on him too much, and I think it's just because I was actually just watching him this season with the Rockets.
Yeah.
And I understand it, and I can see why people find his type of game refreshing. And I think it's perfectly made for FIBA, because the court being smaller and just the way he kind of does his thing on offense, he's not going to be a ball stopper. He's probably just catch and shoots, one dribble, pull-ups. Like, he'll just fit his role to a T.
Yep.
And so the thing that's going to be tricky for y'all, and I think so they're in the same group with Australia.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they'll take care of Australia. It's going to be the bigs. That's the only thing that like might trip y'all up, just because you're gonna need some kind of post presence.
Yep.
And Kelly Olynyk is a dickhead, but he gets buckets. But it's not like he controls the paint.
No.
You feel me? Like he gets his buckets. Like he's a professional scorer. Yeah. But it's like it's crazy. It's
not a
quirky. Yeah. It's just like, bro, because it's like every time I see him play, I'm like, yo, you have the ability to bust somebody's ass on any given night just because of how you play, but it's not consistent enough for you to put fear into another player. So he'll probably lead the back line as far as production goes. And then, because I know Kem Birch, I remember him. He's a physical type of guy. He'll probably be the one that gives you those defensive minutes. But if your guards show up on a consistent basis, and Dylan Brooks is big time, like I forgot about Nembhard, and he got paid, so he's going for it. Barrett, yeah, he's gonna get buckets too. Like easily, I could see the like 80% of your production just coming from the guards that you play.
Yep.
And so if the bigs give you something consistent in each game, then the likelihood you already have a high chance of making out the group, but the likelihood of you getting to like the medal rounds goes up.
Yeah, I think obviously with the bigs, I'm more worried just defense and rebounding. Yeah, I think even last year, to be honest, there were some moments where we tried to turn to Zach Edey prior to being an NBA player. Unfortunately, he's not with the team this year, but last year he was. I think he was a lot heavier and he couldn't move his feet well. So he got played right off the court. But there were minutes where we had to turn to him because that's what things called for. So we might run into that problem again. Of course, like Jokic wasn't in this tournament last year. A guy like Giannis, no, he's not a 5, but where he's trying to go with the ball. He's trying to get to the basket every time. So we're going to get tested in a way that we didn't get tested in the FIBA tournament, and that still is an issue. But like it's one of those situations where it's like we're not going to fix our weakness. We just have to hope our strength punishes the other team more than like our weaknesses punishes our us. So like that's just what you gotta hope for. Like I've already conceded that's going to be annoying, but like I said, I'm hoping that when both teams have to put on their backup guards, that Nembhard's the best guard on the court, and like that's a problem for the other team. That's what I'm hoping for.
I'd like to add something that Eddie said about you guys having no problem against guard heavy teams. A prime example of that was the Puerto Rico friendly. Like our entire offense, what got us to I think number 12 ranking right now has been just our combo guards, and you guys completely shut them down. So I feel like you are going to be exceptional against guard heavy teams, which I do feel there's a substantial amount in this tournament. But yeah, I feel like bigs might be a concern. I don't think you guys have played against a team with like super heavy big rotation. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think again your offense is just as deadly as your perimeter D. So I think at the end of the day, their point guard has to bring the ball up. So it's definitely just taking a little more risks with your guards at that point.
And like the tactics in the game is going to be so straightforward. What's that?
Who starts? You go Thunder backcourt.
So Shea and RJ Barrett start for sure. There was the whole thing of Jamal Murray. He came off the bench, the one friendly he played. People assume he's going to start, so it would be SGA, Jamal Murray, RJ Barrett, and then I think Olynyk starts at the 5, and I forget who the 4 was. Actually, no, I think Dort might start at the 3, Barrett at the 4. The thing is, it was just tricky with Jamal Murray not playing, so you don't know is Dort starting. Like, who's the one starter that's going to come off the court? Oh, no, sorry. Dylan Brooks started. No, Dylan Brooks definitely
started. I was going to say Dylan Brooks will probably start at the 4.
Yeah, Brooks and Barrett as the forwards. Probably Murray and SGA at the guards. And then, honestly, probably Olynyk is going to start. I know last year it was either Olynyk or Dwight Powell. I think Kem Birch actually played okay. Kem Birch wasn't on the team last year. He played okay this year when I saw him. So it might be Kem Birch. It might be Dwight Powell. It might be Olynyk. We'll just have to see. And I think obviously like with that situation, like it could be matchup dependent. I think like the reason I think Birch might have to play at some point or even might have to start is because if you're going up against a team with a really physical center, a dominating center, I don't think it's worth it to play Olynyk and have him lose that matchup and then have to go to the sub anyways. Like just start out with Birch and let's see that fail first.
That's fair.
That's the Canadian team. Obviously really excited to watch that team. The next team in this group of death is Greece. So here's my thing with Greece. I'm checking this team. Okay, my problem is like They don't have Costas. That's my thing. You guys saw that Jeff Teague clip, right? When he was talking about how
I did.
Oh,
I
that's what I'm
did.
saying. This
I
team doesn't
did.
have Costas. So honestly, why are they even showing up without him?
Yeah, no,
Well, I did. You know what I saw? I think I watched the highlights of a certain game, and I saw him on the bench, but like he was in the polo. So, hey, it's the same vibe. Well, I think. Well, nah. Let me give him some credit. I know he probably plays for Greece more
Yeah.
than he does
did,
for
he
the
did.
Bucks. He did. Yeah. Okay. So he's not in the game, but hey, it's Milwaukee time. Get ready for the season. Get your strategic locations on the bench for you want to know where to sit so Giannis can get that eye contact.
Scout out
So
your spots. Hell yeah.
got out your
Yeah.
spots. So that's all I got for him. But
I'm not gonna lie.
they're a weird team, bro.
Bro, I'm looking
They
at this
really
team.
are.
All the players play professionally in Greece too, right? So you got a couple players that play
Really
for
good league.
Monaco. One guy plays in Turkey, and then you got Giannis. So I mean, the thing is, when I see that all these players play in the same league and a bunch of them play for Olympiacos, I'm saying, okay, this team's gonna have chemistry.
Yep. Now, here's the thing with this team, and I think, I was thinking about it before we got on here. I'm like, wait a minute, this is gonna be the team that Canada has to beat because they will run Canada for their money.
So I'm seeing here they were 15th place, 2-3 without Giannis in the FIBA, right?
Yes,
So 2
but
and
here's
3
the
without
thing.
Giannis. So they weren't trash.
They're like, I don't know, it's kind of freakish honestly, but they're like they're a team built around Canada for some reason because all these dudes are tall. They're all tall.
I'm looking.
Like your point guard is what 6'2". That's it. Everybody is like 6'4" and beyond.
Yeah.
So all these guys are very tall, and then you got the Giannis problem. How are you gonna tackle that? Dwight Powell's not stopping Giannis. So I don't know if you're gonna have to do a Nick Nurse box and win the whole game. I don't know what the approach is here, but I feel like if any team is gonna give you a scare, it might be Greece. It really might, just because of their length. Honestly,
That's the game on Saturday too. That's the first game. So
yeah, I feel like that's gonna be like the real test for Canada. I don't think Canada should have that many problems against Spain or Australia, honestly. But Greece, I think, could be one to watch, especially that they do have some momentum coming from the qualifier. I feel like right now they have that little fire in them. They want it more, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be very interesting. Also, Giannis again, he is a freak. So
but he doesn't have Costas. Like that's the thing you have
that
to
is true.
keep in
That
mind.
is true.
They couldn't even give him the younger brother.
No!
They
let him
said hell
solo
no.
dolo.
They said hell no.
They said, "Does this look like
Yeah,
fucking Milwaukee to you?"
Nah,
They prefer
I'm weak.
the Olympiacos roster, bro. Fuck.
That's no, because that's the one Greek team I know. So I was just like Olympiacos.
No, and the
Because
Greek
I
league
remember
is pretty good.
they had this big ass dude who fucked the USA up in like 2006 World Championships. I'll never forget this. I forget his name, but they pretty much called him like Greek Shaq. And bruh, he was
it was
fucking
really big,
up
right?
the USA. I forget his name, bro.
But I know
Wasn't
what
it
you're talking
also-
about. Dude's huge.
Wasn't it also a Greek guy that Vince Carter dunked on?
No, it was a French
Not
guy.
French.
Oh, it was a French guy.
Yeah. But to your point, like, yeah, they're physical. That I do know, like, because I know the point guard walk up. I saw him playing college, and he was just on deep. Like, he's like, I think, like a steals leader in the NCAA, like really high up there.
Yeah.
Calathes, I know because he's been playing basketball since I was like in high school type shit. Yeah, and I think to your point, Nico, like they don't like downsize when somebody gets subbed out.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
then they're all gonna dribble, pass, and shoot. They're all gonna try to make the right play. So it's dependent upon, again, with this one, it'll be a good matchup because Giannis is what you don't want to see, but at the same time, you could contain their guards pretty well. Because I don't think they're great shooters like that. So the guards specifically, the wings, I'm sure can shoot the shit out the ball. That's just European basketball. Like wings are definitely gonna be able to spray that bitch.
They do have NBA legend Georgios Papagiannis on there.
That name. Is that the lefty?
I think he got drafted. Did he get drafted by the Spurs and then never come over?
I think no, he got drafted by the Kings. Yeah, in 2016. Played 16 minutes per game his first year, and just everything just fell
Oh
off.
Oh,
yeah, you right.
Kings and
Yeah,
Blazers.
That's crazy.
NBA
So they
legend,
got
man.
yeah, they got NBA type talent. So
Barely,
yeah,
I
it'll
think
be they'll be they won't be like again that Giannis shit though, bro. Like,
Giannis is a scary
whoo,
man.
he's motivated too.
Yep.
Hmm.
Giannis is like international basketball too, right? It could be a whole different beast.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
players internationally just unlock a whole new level of themselves.
But I'm still
And
dead though, bro. The Greek team literally looked him in his eyes and said, "Yeah, no,
nah,
brothers, demand a trade if you want to.
not one.
Demand a
He
trade if you
couldn't.
want to.
they're like, he's made how much money has he made? Let me see how much money he's
But you are on a lifetime deal. This is death row
Oh
records,
my god, bro! He couldn't get his youngest one on there too, just to get the water.
made.
like, bro. This
Damn.
is not the United States. We do
Nah,
not play
absolutely.
this bullshit."
Yeah,
Hey, your
nah, because they coach go crazy. They coach
yeah.
go crazy. So
Hey,
if
and
they,
if
yeah,
your
yeah,
brother
yeah,
has made $9 million in his career, he can pay for the tickets.
100%.
yeah, that's fair.
100%. But last team in this group is Spain.
Oh
Uh,
my,
so this team, I'm looking at it right. I don't really see anybody new the
Last
uh
tournament.
from the FIBA, and I watched. Obviously, they played Canada in the last tournament, and to be honest, they should have beat Canada. They should have beat Canada. They just,
I agree.
bro, just I don't know what happened in the last 5 minutes. People just didn't miss. Dylan Brooks and SGA really brought that game home. But Spain played good. So you look at their team and you don't really see like crazy hoopers or anything. Rudy Fernandez is ancient, right?
that's crazy.
Santi Aldama is like obviously just like
He's
he's
good.
in the NBA, but he's not really like a guy like that. And then Usman Garuba also on the Warriors, but not really a guy like that. And those are the only two NBA players. But don't get it twisted. This team can play ball.
It's good.
And
Yeah.
they again, like I said, they should have beat Canada in the FIBA. Now, when you look at a team like this, I think because they're Spain, like they're not a team that people are going to sleep on. They're not a team that people don't know anything about, and they're not really a team that like again, like Canada just played them last year. So to be honest, again, like I respect them as a team, but I just look at it like you had your best chance to beat us last year. You had us down, and you couldn't
That
finish
is
the
true.
job. And if anything, we're going to be better this year. And if anything, like it's my thing, I don't understand what their window, like what their potential is to be better than last year. I think they might be just as good as last year, but I
They
don't think they're
might.
going to be better. So that's my thing. Like, don't get it wrong. I respect this team, and this is a good team, but you didn't beat us last year. So I just don't think you're going to beat us this year. But that's how I feel.
No, that's true, and I feel like again, the problem of this team compared to the Spain we all know and love before these tournaments and FIBA and the last FIBA World Cup, they had more star power, I guess you could say. But on the offhand, you do have better coaching now. Sergio Scariolo is a great coach. He's
Yeah.
been doing. I feel like he has extracted every single ounce of basketball this team can offer. So I guess I think they are at the point that they're as good as they can be with the talent that they have.
Yep.
I'm with you, nigga. Like this is just the international Spurs, bro.
Yeah.
Like they
Basically,
just they just play basketball like the right
it's a
way type
culture. They
shit.
got a
Like
good culture.
they got a good great culture. Like and to your point, like that's why they were so dominant for that run
Hmm.
because they had the star power with the
Absolutely.
culture. Like your Mark Gasol, your Pau Gasol,
Yep.
like that being your starting front line. Like NBA teams would kill for that to be your 4 or 5 in like the
Absolutely.
2010s. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
they and then fucking Fernandez is still kicking it out here.
Rudy Fernandez is playing great.
Um, he does. Yeah, that's the thing. I saw him like hitting that same fucking fall away three that nobody
Hmm.
thinks is going in, but it's just water.
Yeah.
So it's never easy with them. But if your talent shows up, you should be all right. Like that's the only
Absolutely.
thing. So if you got, because you got Bo Cruz from Hustle,
Hell yeah.
you
And you
got
got
his
his brother,
brother.
which
You
Yep.
is
got
even
his
better than
brother.
him.
So that's who you really looking out for here.
Absolutely.
Lorenzo Brown, that's a shout from like again, that's crazy. He made his way onto the Spain team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Aldama,
That's that.
yeah, you
That's
think
very
with
good.
like his measurables he'd be more dominant, but it's just the same old stuff with him. So They all right. They won't
Yeah.
be an easy game for anybody, but
Yeah.
it's really not their year. It's not their time at all.
Yeah, I agree, but I said this last year. A team with such a long culture and such a long heritage of great coaching is a team that you always got to look out for in these tournaments. I feel
Yeah.
like they usually don't play much hero ball and keep their poise during the whole game, which it can be a constant threat. So it's just one of these
Mhm.
unrelenting teams that you just want to like get rid of as quick as possible. Honestly.
Definitely,
Mhm.
definitely.
You want to blow them out. You don't want to have it be like
Ab-
fucking 4 point game with them having the lead with a minute and a half left. It's done. You're
Absolutely,
not
because
getting that.
most of
Somebody's gonna
these,
start hooping. Just
yes,
somebody's
Yeah.
gonna start hooping.
and
Santi Aldama, bro, against Canada, he had a windmill dunk and like three threes, and I was just like, I've never seen you play like this.
it's
What the
international
hell
ball,
happened
man.
to you? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
Yeah.
it's one of these teams, man. Like it goes down to the coaching as well.
100%,
It's a
Mhm.
team with direction
Mhm.
and poise, so can't really mess around with that.
100%. So to throw out like a quick prediction for this group, I'm going Canada 1, Spain 2, Greece 3, Australia 4.
Yeah.
That's fair, but I think I might sneak in Greece into that second
So
spot.
here's what I'd say. I think with this group, because keep in mind, people, there's 3 groups and 2 of the third place teams advance. So basically, like I look at this group, I'm like, the third place team here should advance. Whoever
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
Whoever it is.
that's fair. But yeah, I
I
think I think it's gonna be Greece second. I really do.
I it's just the Giannis factor because I go back and forth with Australia and Greece because it's like Australia is a watered down version of Spain for me, where that basketball culture they do have, it has been tough to beat,
Yeah.
but that fucking dude in 34, dog, like
Yeah.
you got nobody on the court that can stay in front of him, challenge him at the rim. They're gonna feed him. I I'll still give it to Spain though because I think their system will take it over the top. So I'd probably
Interesting.
go Canada, Spain, Greece, Australia. That's
Hell
what
yeah.
I do too.
I guess my view on Greece getting second is that I've said it before and I'll say it a million times. Length in these tournaments is such an important thing,
Mm,
just because of the level of basketball that you have here. I
Yeah.
feel like length gives teams more room to make mistakes,
That's true.
especially on the
mm.
defensive end.
That's true. Being able to cover the court, it's important.
Yeah, I feel like
It's a
crashing.
smaller court too, right? It's
Yep.
a
Yeah.
smaller court.
And crashing the glass here is just I feel like it's imperative for a lot of
Mm.
teams. I feel like that's what gives a lot of teams the win. Honestly.
I love the group though. I'm not even gonna lie. I love the
Oh,
group.
that's
That's
fun.
like not a boring game at
No.
all.
Not
Oh
a
yeah.
single boring game.
Nah, this group is solid. Obviously, it's the group of death for a reason. And like I said, I think 3 teams make it out because the thing is, I don't think I see a blowout in this group. So
No, me neither.
if you talk about score differential, like in the other groups, you probably will see a third place team that just got clapped by the top 2 teams, right? That's not going to happen in this group. So I think the score differential definitely makes sure that the third place team here gets through. So yeah, Group A, very difficult group. We're gonna keep it pushing to Group B. Group B. So the first team we got is Brazil. So
Brazil.
to just check in really quickly, where did Brazil was 13th in the
Mhm.
FIBA. They were 3-2 with a point differential of plus 19. So they had an up and down tournament. I remember watching them against Canada, and I found that. So I think Canada was blowing them out, and then they made kind of like a fake comeback and then lost in the end.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
I remember Iago dos Santos being a good guard. Um, Bruno Caboclo, like unironically, actually plays a role on this team.
Mind you,
Oh, Laker
little.
legend, Laker legend,
I'm gonna let you
Marcelo
continue.
Huertas, Laker legend.
Check
Yeah.
this out. I'm gonna let you continue, Alam.
Yeah.
That's qualifying tournament MVP Bruno Caboclo.
Oh
to you,
hell
sir.
yeah! Qualifying tournament.
Crazy. Oh my God, I forgot about Felicio. Felicio still
Felicio's
getting
there
them
too.
checks, Felicio. Shout out to
What's
you,
he?
my dog.
He's on Granada in Spain, bro. Let's go.
Yeah. But
Hey, I don't. Hey.
Bruno's no longer 5 years away from being 5 years away. He's like
No.
a year away from being 2 years away. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
The math is starting to math.
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing. I get it, Masai. I get it. I'm a
The
speed
math-
you heart to
Oh,
heart.
yeah.
I get it. I get it.
The math is starting to math, bro.
I don't know.
Hey, he was
I
a
get
demon
it,
on
bro.
2K after you simmed like three seasons. He was a demon on 2K.
Nah, yeah.
6'9", long ass wingspan, and could shoot corner threes, bro. He was
we
a
had
problem.
KD.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
you know what, Masai? This is from me to you after all these years. I apologize, man.
You
I apologize.
apologize.
I'm sorry.
No, but you know what it was? Even when it happened, I understood, right? Because he was so pissed he couldn't get Giannis. So pissed. He was like, fuck it. I'm
Got
drafting
Bruno.
the lankiest guy in this draft not from America. Whoever it is.
Yo, he did that again too this year with Chomche. He got a farmer.
100%. He's drafting somebody that nobody knows with crazy wingspan every year.
Yeah.
That trauma definitely hits. But yeah, with this
Oh,
team, man, like I just expect it to be like more or less what it was for the FIBA. I don't know exactly what will be different about this team. It looks like more or less the same squad. Just one NBA player, no, two NBA players. I don't even know the NBA players though. Who's Gui Santos and
Oh, yeah, I know him.
Pereira?
Raul Neto.
Oh yeah,
Raul Neto.
It was
Oh,
since
he's a free agent?
Oh, he's a free oaf. Yeah, nah, he's not going back.
Damn. Yeah, I doubt the yeah.
If the Wizards don't want you, bro, you're cooked.
Gui's a wing, like 2'3".
Okay.
Athletic, attacks the rim pretty well. Not that much of a shooter, but you'll have a hard time getting past him on the defensive end. Yeah, I don't know this Pereira guy. I haven't seen him before.
Alzinho's a
spoke
crazy
of-
name though. That's a sick name.
Hey, he got it. He got it. He got it going. He got it going. I think, the great Bruno Caboclo, we will see what he has to offer this Olympic go-around, but it's not looking good. I'm just going to keep it a buck. It's not looking good.
I really think this group is extremely predictable. I
hear you. I hear you, bro. We got Ahmed in the chat saying France for gold. And
France
that's a
for
great
gold?
transition.
Oh, that
That's
was
a
the
good
kiss
take.
of death. The
That's
kiss
a
of
take.
death.
That is true though. That the Ahmed curse is real.
Well, the host country.
The host country.
Got a
I think this
squad.
is definitely going to be a team that a lot of people are going to want to watch just off
They
the
got a
strength of
squad.
Wembanyama. But obviously, like they have an old guard as well. They got Batum and Evan Fournier. Obviously, they got Rudy Gobert as well. Frank Ntilikina, he's still on the team.
Knicks legend. Stand up, New York, stand up.
I'm trying to see who else. Oh yeah, Nando DeColo. Nando
There's that little.
DeColo.
There's some guy born in 2004 called Victor Wembanyama. I think that guy might be.
He
good.
might be all right.
7'3".
He might be all right.
Might be cool.
Yeah.
Might be cool. Yeah, I think you know what you get out of this team.
Yeah.
Disappointment.
This is what I was gonna say, bro. I watched France in the FIBA, and they got smoked by Canada. That was
They're
that
like
was-
the Sixers. They're the Sixers of FIBA. I swear to God.
The Sixers
Yo,
is a good
they
shot.
placed
Yeah.
18th. They placed 18th in the FIBA. You know, so that's my thing.
Ridiculous.
They're a team that honestly, if they didn't have Wemby, I would be so confident in saying, "Yo, throw this team in the trash."
They're cooked.
And then they got the craziest prospect ever. So now I'm looking at it like, look, I
This
still
might be
think
good.
they're a pretty weak squad. But
Mhm.
maybe I don't know, maybe he'll do something. Like,
With a
it's
little
tough.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's one of them ones with this team. Like
They got the names.
they got the names, and y'all shouldn't look as bad as y'all do sometimes. But they still figure out a way to get to the gold medal round of last time. Like it made absolutely no sense to me. Like the fact that you throw out, and it didn't happen, but they're gonna do it. I know they're gonna do it this time around. They're gonna throw out Yabusele,
Yep.
Gobert, Wembanyama, probably Koulibaly, and I guess you have Evan Fournier running point, or maybe it's Koulibaly. I don't know.
Lord have mercy. Yeah.
And it's just gonna look terrible.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm already having to deal with the whole, Rudy Gobert, Victor Wembanyama, but shout out to Blue Bucks clan. Like, wondering why the fuck is Batum in right about now.
Bro.
Like we're still doing that song, so
Yeah, I feel like Joel Embiid saw this team and was like, "Oh shit, I already play for a team like that." Like, wait, let me go play with the U.S. real quick.
I don't need that much
I
stress
get it,
in my
Joel,
life.
I
I
get
hear you. Yeah, we get it.
I get it. You don't want to play for the Sixers again. I'd be pissed too.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
That's true, man. That's true. But Nick Batum really went back to the Clippers to reignite that song. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
for real.
It's lovely. It's lovely. It was honestly the funniest
He's
thing
toxic.
between that and Paul George admitting that they're the B side. It was a beautiful offseason for me watching their demise. Just beautiful.
Yeah.
That organization fell apart. They're about to
God
open
bless.
that new stadium with nothing but toilets.
The cold
I'm
part
very
is
happy.
nobody's going. Like
My
I'm telling y'all
heart
right
smiles.
now, nobody is going to those games.
That wall gonna be
If-
empty.
It's gonna be empty, bro. And I guarantee you, it'll be like Miami after halftime or in the first quarter.
Ooh, first quarter
Well,
Miami.
you can just see the gaps in the stands. Like, yeah, it's happening, fam.
They're
And
gonna be more
I
doing
love
serving
it.
popcorn
I
in
love
the
it.
stands.
Oh yeah.
Oof.
But yeah,
Most
no,
holograms.
that's what it is with France, man. We just we know that the team's pretty ass, and then they got probably the most exciting young player just ever. So I still think that this team, like when they see good teams, they'll fall apart. But you know, Wemby might do something against some of these teams that
Absolutely.
aren't good. The
Wemby
next,
gonna get his. I've seen enough from Wemby to understand. Like it's
He's
like
in.
it's book it 20 and 10 in a
He's
couple
good, man.
blocks. But the rest of those guys, it's like, all right now.
100%.
All right. Yeah, shit.
I-
You thought Joel throwing his passport in the water was bad. Wait till this brother does it. Y'all put him through some shit, I'm telling you.
I just can't help but
100%.
laugh at this team, honestly.
It's crazy, bro.
They had to get Koulibaly on the team, like on some Costas shit.
Yo,
Like,
please
let's make
defend
sure
him.
he has his boy.
Absolutely.
But yeah, one of the teams they're gonna have to play is Germany. So they're gonna play the FIBA defending champions,
World champs.
Dennis Schroeder's guys.
Yes, sir.
Again, this team, we saw them last year basically as is. We saw them hoop on people. This is one of the teams where you look at Franz Wagner and he's only going to get better. So, you know, they have a potential to be better considering that one of their main players is young and on the rise.
Mhm.
They got the continuity factor going for them. They have the confidence. They have the results. Like we've seen it. So this is definitely a team that it's easy to get excited about.
Absolutely.
And especially in this group, you look at it, them going up against Brazil, France, and Japan. Like they should be cleaning this group up.
Absolutely. And I think, I said it last tournament, I'm going to say it again here. The X factor for this team, and it was last tournament, Mo Wagner. Mo Wagner has been something else for these people. Honestly, he's Larry Bird. It's incredible.
Fucking crazy. I fucking hate it, bro.
Like, I was looking at some of these games and his shooting splits, and I'm like, yo, you could get maxed out in the NBA if you played like this. But it's a team that, well, it's the defending champs, but they could have the defending champ curse as well. I feel like every team coming off a world championship always, plays a little weird. But I don't know if it works like that way for basketball. But again, it's a team that has the perfect mix of everything. I feel like they have a little bit of shooting, they have a little bit of playmaking. Their defense is solid, and in terms of size, they got enough guys to supplement a good defense against a taller team as well. So I feel like they're just very lucky to have the guys that they have right now, and at their certain age groups as well. I feel like everyone is mature enough to play in this tournament.
Yep.
They shit, bro. They surprised the hell out of me, and I'm like, to your Mo Wagner point, that's what I can't stand. It's like, brother, I see you playing the NBA. And then you come out here and you want to hit people for like 17 and 8. And you want to make it efficient. And then you want to be just as annoying as you are in the league in FIBA. And then they got these dudes just running off of pin downs, like Dennis Schroeder out there on his dickhead activities as well. They're a crazy team, bro. And again, they're the quintessential FIBA team because everybody who touches that ball is effective, and they always make quick decisions. And I'm hoping, for the championship curse because I don't want to see the U.S. have to play that team again. And they're definitely going to top this group just off of what I've seen from them.
Yeah,
like they are the real deal. So yeah, I respect him.
And to your point about everybody touching the ball being a guy, like last year, I remember Andreas Obst. It says he plays for Bayern Munich. I have no idea who that guy is. I watched him play. I still don't really know who he is, but he was hooping when he had the ball. Like Voigtman, another one. Like there's guys that I remember from last year. I don't even remember their face. I just remember their names and being like, "Fuck, that guy's playing good basketball."
Yeah. Like again, I was looking over Mo Wagner's shooting splits, and he was shooting 47% from the 3-point line and 74% from the field. He was playing ridiculous.
He's out there dunking and shit when he played in US. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, sorry, 60% from the field, but for a 3-point shooter, 60% for the field is insane.
That's amazing.
I think he shot 50, 40, 90 that tournament.
That's nasty. That's crazy.
Again, like it's guys like those that obviously they're not the main guy, but they're you see him on TV splash on the most crucial moments, and you're frustrated if you're playing against them.
Oh yeah,
he's one of those pests, and if he stays hot, this team can have the same amount of chance they did in FIBA World Tournament.
100%. And part of the reason we feel confident about them in the group is because the last team in the group is Japan. Japan finished 19th, so they actually finished worse than France. So if you look at this group, bro, they got 18 from last year. They got 19. They got the winners, and then who's the last team? Oh, Brazil, 13. Right. So they got a bunch of scrubs in Germany.
Shout out Josh Hawkinson, most Japanese man on this roster.
Josh Hawkinson.
I seen that. I seen.
We rocking with Mark because Mark is rocking with us.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Yo, so I knew that they had a Yuta Watanabe, but there's a Hugh Watanabe. That's pretty. That's fire.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, again,
shout out to Laker Rui Hachimura. Hopefully, you get that trade value up, my boy.
Hell yeah,
we need that.
Yo,
but, there was somebody. I don't know if he's here.
I saw that. I saw the other American flag, and I was like, "Oh, another NBA player!" And it says the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors.
Oh my god,
that's tough. That's tough. There's like this lefty that was playing
college.
There we go. Yeah,
he was playing in college in Nebraska. I don't know if he made the team or not, but he's nice. He's nice. He's not FIBA nice because he's hella small, but yeah, he's nice.
Yeah, I think again another team where you expect them to just be what they were in the FIBA, and they weren't that good in the FIBA. So I expect more more of the same from them. So like Nico started this group talking about how predictable it is. I'm definitely taking Germany first, definitely taking France second, Brazil third, and Japan fourth.
And that is the same order that the Olympic I'm in the Olympics website watching the groups, and like they have them that exact same order.
Hell yeah.
I'm with that. I just can't see it going any other way.
Yes.
So the only other way I could see it going is if France actually just shows up and Wemby can't do anything about the scrubs around them, maybe Brazil gets second, right? But then I look at this group, this group is primed to have the third place not make it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because I could definitely see Germany smacking everybody around, and then let's say Wemby shows up and really puts up numbers against Brazil. Now you got Brazil, you got blown out by two teams. Your point differential is going to be terrible. You're not going to make it as the third place.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. I think it's again it might be the easiest bet out of all of them. I'd be very surprised to see the likes of Brazil or Japan climb to that second spot, honestly. I think some crazy stuff would have to happen. Yep. France might have to do a classic France stunt, but I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't.
France's old-ass hoopers would have to just, completely mess up what they have going on.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, transitioning to Group C, the first
Oof.
team being Puerto Rico. So this is where me and Eddie we camp out in the corners, and it's a ISO for Nico.
Yes, sir. All right. I want
Go
to
ahead,
start off.
close.
This group is really interesting. Like number 2, number 3, and number 4. That's gonna be a very interesting thing to watch. Must see TV, honestly, especially after South Sudan's performance. Oh my God.
Legends.
Absolutely. I'll touch on that later, but right now I'll go into Puerto Rico. So I feel like we were playing extremely well before we played Canada, where we got exposed. Because the main problem with this team is we are a complete combo guard offense. I was talking to this to Alam when we were watching the friendly. We like 75% of the time depend on the likes of Tremont Waters and Jose Alvarado to run our offense. Like those are our starting point guard and shooting guards. We always dish them out. They play the most minutes of the team, and we have a lack of bigs as well. Our tallest player is George Condit, and he's not really an offensively stellar center. We don't use him that much. In the qualifying tournament, we didn't really. I mean, he scored what, like 4 points in the final. He had very low usage rate because he's more of a glass crasher, rim protector. So there's not much output we can expect from our big. Same with our other big, Ismael Romero. He's not much of a scorer either. So that already takes us out 2 big guys that we're not gonna get any offensive output from them. So when you have a team of 2 very short dudes, mind you, Tremont is 5'11", right? So you can get exposed real quick by teams like Canada who have just as mobile guards who are just taller. Shea is just as mobile, in my opinion, as Tremont Waters, but he exposed him completely. That aside, though, we are playing against very lengthy teams in this group, thank God, because I think that is where Puerto Rico plays its best game, for example. I feel like they handed Lithuania their asses in the tournament, and Lithuania was a very tall team, and that is just because of the sheer athleticism and bounce these guys have off the dribble. Jose Alvarado and Tremont are very, very disruptive players, and I think they can do some damage to this group, especially South Sudan. I think they can give them a run for their money. I'm not really too afraid of their length. Obviously, they can be a problem. They're playing great ball, but yeah, it's down to will Jose Alvarado and Tremont Waters be able to bear the weight of the whole offense? Because again, when their offense is not working, the rest of the players turn to hero ball. Alam saw it. They just started chucking shots. Anybody, like straight up. I saw so many. Like in my lifetime, I've seen so many shots like air ball or just hit the glass, no rim, because they're like desperate for points. So if they can, turn that desperation to the side and highlight chasing to the side, I think we can get a second or a third on this group.
So yeah, we watched Puerto Rico against Canada play in a friendly like last weekend. So I could see it watching the game, but I'm looking at the numbers here. Like you said, Condit's your tallest player at 6'11", but then your second tallest player is at 6'8". So you're talking about like
starting power forward, by the way.
This is a team full of forwards and guards, really. But yeah, like they looked okay they had their moments. I think they started the game strong and they had a nice little run at the end of the third against Canada.
Yeah,
but,
it was good until the second half, and then it was just Canada ball.
And then where did Puerto Rico finish in
12th.
the FIBA? 12th? Yeah, so kind of in that pocket of like a team that had their moments in the FIBA, but didn't really shake, like really like make an impact. Again, like they have continuity going for them. I think this is more or less the same team as the FIBA, right?
It's very close. It's very close. Now we do have Jose Alvarado though.
Oh right, you do have Alvarado, so that should help. He played well against Canada, so
absolutely.
Yeah, with Alvarado, you're hoping that they play a little bit better than they did in the FIBA, and like at number 12, that's still better than a lot of the teams in this tournament.
Yeah,
and
go ahead. You go.
No, yeah. I just and they did beat good teams to get to where they are as well.
Yep.
You can go ahead.
It's always a tough one gauging a team like this because of how explosive they are on the offensive end. Like they're one of those teams that they start knocking down shots. From what I've seen, they'll knock them down throughout the game. Like if Tremont Waters gets hot, we already know what it is. If Alvarado gets hot, we already know what it is. Even I don't know how much he plays, but Jordan Howard is a scorer.
Yes, Jordan
Like
Howard is our backup point guard.
backup
He
point.
is. Yeah, because we try to alternate between Jose and Tremont during the game, and we alternated with
Mhm.
Jordan Howard.
Yeah. See, he's a bucket getter, so Panero does the dirty work from what I
Yeah.
remember.
Pinheiro does dirty work and open corner threes because we do get him open looks on the corner sometimes.
From
So
the driving of the guards.
yep,
Yeah. Yeah, so there again, it's one of those things where tough out, because they play so damn hard,
yeah,
and then just the activity they can present, they can beat anybody in this group on the right time. Like so, it'll be interesting to see the game that they're. I know for a fact they're just circled up is the South Sudan one
mm-hmm.
because
That is a
that's
must-watch game.
the I think that'll be the one that you kind of see the best of both of them, and whoever pulls that
Absolutely,
one out
that's who's
will
passing.
probably end up with that third. Because I'm thinking it's Serbia's in this group too, and Serbia, from what I've seen, they can be beat.
Yes,
So yeah, those that's a dope group that we got here.
absolutely.
So
I guess
yeah, Puerto Rico, yeah.
one word that could describe what Puerto Rico needs to win is poise. That I think that is
Mm,
the main thing for this team, poise,
hmm
because they do have good chemistry,
Somebody
but it's poise.
somebody got it from the wing spots. Got to make some jump shots. Like I'm looking at
Usually,
Pinero. If he
yeah,
can be a consistent like 12 ish, I can't say for certain he's been that,
not gonna do that.
but yeah, he hasn't been that. So I'm just looking at it because again, the guards, the trio, right? I strictly believe in they'll give you something to be good with, and then I think number 28, he's on some demon time too in the post. He's a
Yeah,
pretty good fish from what I remember.
yeah, he
Um,
he blocked Sabonis at the rim in the finals. We were all going
Damn.
crazy. Yeah.
everybody, yeah, that shit looks so dope. Cause the fact that game was in Puerto Rico to close
I was there.
that
I was
shit
there.
was a movie. He was there, yeah. Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
I think I seen your IG. Yeah, that shit looked like a movie.
Oh, it was. It
So
was.
they'll
But
be
yeah,
they'll be amped up for it, bro. Like that's the best part. They're gonna have their pride. Everybody's
absolutely.
gonna be coming to compete. So they gotta have a good shot to make it out this group too.
Just
And
goes down to
yeah,
not embarrassing yourself, honestly.
bro, and
Mm-hmm.
Serbia is going to be one of those teams where that's definitely going to
Mm-hmm.
be the mission. So Serbia last year in the FIBA, they finished. Where did they finish? They finished. Oh yeah, they finished second.
They got a
Um,
great team.
bro, yeah. So I remember we lost to Serbia. Um, we lost to Serbia, and they were telling me Serbians were telling me in the comments that like before, first of all, when we were previewing the game, Serbians would tell me I didn't know shit about their team, and they were right. Um, and yeah, everything they said was factual. They played a good game. They just made threes, and they made more threes than us. They played good competitive ball, and we just couldn't beat them. Obviously, they're adding Nikola Jokic. So you're talking about adding one of the best ball players in the world. Um, and then yeah, you're talking about a team that has the continuity. These guys have been playing together for a while. The coaching staff and these players that seem like they've been working together for a long time. Yeah, you're not going to see like a whole ton of NBA players here, but you're talking about guys that can play, guys that have been playing as a team for a while. And now again, you add elite talent to that. Now again, when you add something like when you add something like Jokic that's going to change everything to something that worked, there's a chance that making it a different thing can kind of work against you. So that's something to watch. But yeah, man, great team.
Yeah, with Serbia, the thing is like the guys that don't play in the NBA, they play basketball at maybe the next highest level to the NBA. All these guys are elite EuroLeague talent, and I think they I mean they're very deserving of that numbers two spot. But one thing with this team, they might have a bit of a problem that Canada has because they're the team with the biggest target on their back. So everyone's trying to go for him. That being, I mean, not particularly USA because I think they're not going to be really worried about the competition here. But it's more of South Sudan and Puerto Rico. It's the team to beat for them
Yep.
because aside from each other, that is the team they have to beat if they want to, secure their spot. So they have to make sure they stay with their head above the water and not crumble like they did against the United States because I do believe this team is capable of beating a team like the United States. So it's all about being a good front runner basically for them too.
Yeah, I think you know with their team, shooting's going to be at a premium. Offense is going to be top tier. It's just going to come down to how they defend. When you have Jokic playing extended minutes, you have Bogdanovich playing extended minutes, you have the other Jokic probably playing extended minutes. How they defend individually, I'm sure as a team they can scheme them something together that'll make them somewhat decent. But there's moments in the game where it turns into one-on-one, and you literally have to make it tough for your guy to score. And even with the FIBA rules, I've just seen them struggle to guard people. And so if they're on their shit, right, where we know they can be when it comes to shooting that ball, and you're busy turning it over, just being stupid, they'll blow you out the water.
Absolutely.
Um, they're probably like the most skilled team when you just look at who they. Because I think even Philly might have been on a US an NBA roster. Not too sure, but I know, like he said, a lot. Like Nico said, a lot of these guys even play high level Euro League, so the moment's not going to be too big for them. It'll just be another game. At least this time, they're not getting quarters and shit thrown at them. So they'll be straight, bro. They're a good, fundamentally sound team, and I'm interested to see how, because they're such a contrast from all the teams in the group from an athletic perspective. USA super athletic at certain positions. Puerto Rico very athletic at the guard position and even the forward and center position. And then South Sudan just athletes all over the place. So it'll be interesting to see how they fare in this group. It really will.
Yeah, so like one of the games that, I mean, when South Sudan plays everybody, we're all going to be watching because it's an interesting team to watch. They got the spotlight right now. Obviously we know a lot of stuff about South Sudan now because of what happened.
Absolutely.
Gilbert Arenas had some comments, and not everybody's very educated because all the information got put out there. But yeah, South Sudan, fairly new country. You got Luol Deng out here basically single-handedly making this possible. I just noticed that Royal Ivy is the coach. I remember him on the Thunder.
Legend.
For real, but man,
I have a theory about that.
Okay, let's hear
I
it.
have a theory about this. I think, honest to God's truth, he should probably have been like the USA coach.
Okay.
I'm and we'll talk about Kerr later, but I'm just noticing things with that dude that it's just like, yeah, bro, this is not for you. The same way it wasn't for Pop, the same way it wasn't for Coach K. This shit is not for you, bro. But on the South Sudanese team, yeah, I can't lie. Like, when I say I was shocked because I already knew they were gonna be like athletic. Like that goes without saying. But the shooting, the playmaking, that's what really
It worked.
it took it over the top, bro. Like, just pull up threes, bro. Like, to take the lead, Buddy shot like a fall away three, and he's never made that in the game. Like, I've never seen him make that in any other game. Like, they're some dogs. So, like when we talked about the Puerto Rico team, their images of each other. Just the measurements are different, but the
Absolutely.
way they approach the game is exactly the same. And I feel bad for any team that has to play them as well because, bruh, it's like it doesn't sound bad, but it's legit Black Air Force energy. That's all I get from this
True.
team, bro. Like they make shit so difficult on the defensive end due to that length and the athleticism that
Mhm.
whatever they get on offense is just a bonus. You feel me? So
Yeah, and I feel like
they'll
everyone
be
got
interesting to
educated.
watch too.
Yeah, everybody got educated on Carlick Jones.
Yep.
Me
Bro.
especially. I was not familiar with their game, sir. I'm not gonna lie.
Boss, I apologize. I apologize.
But that's what happens with these players, right? You don't really know who they are or where they play. And then I look at Carlick Jones. He plays on Partizan. There's at least 4 or 5 players in this whole Olympics that play for Partizan. Like, like these guys, you don't know. They play for teams. Speaking of a guy who plays for a team that we already know, look at the third last player, Majak Dang, plays for the Tasmania Jack Jumpers.
They make another appearance. Shout out
Hell
to the
yeah, bro.
Jack
Yo,
Jump.
There's 4
I
Jack
need the
Jumpers.
jersey. I
Jack
need the
Jumpers.
jersey.
We got 4 Jack Jumpers at the Olympics.
Let
We
me see
made
that
it.
jersey. Hold on.
They
made
must
it.
be nice. They gotta be nice.
Tasmania Jack Jumpers.
It looks like the Australia uniform. I'm not gonna lie. It's like an
Oh, come
Australia
on now.
Lithuania region.
Come on
Nah,
now.
they're
Come on
slipping.
I'm
now.
disappointed.
They're slipping, bro. You got the Hungry Jack sponsor. Nah, it's not doing the name justice.
Where are the
Man.
pinstripes? That is a pinstripe
Where's
jersey
the
name if I've
Tasmanian
ever
devil
seen.
at, bruh?
We need it. The streets need it.
There's so
Come
much.
out with an alternate. I might get it.
100%. We need that. We need that. But yeah, man, like this team, they're obviously like a team that's gonna have a lot of confidence. And when you look at the group, right, if you think about everybody's expectations, it's gonna be Serbia and the U.S. to handle business. And then when it comes to Puerto Rico against South Sudan, we already kind of talked about how weak the second group is. Like in that game, that's a head-to-head. You could like that's basically a elimination game right there, right?
Yep.
Puerto Rico, South Sudan. Now the tricky thing about this group is Puerto Rico and South Sudan have to make sure they don't get blown out at all against the U.S. and Serbia. Because if you get clapped in those games, your point differential is going to be real bad, and
You're
for
cooked.
the third place qualification, you're going to be in a difficult spot. But yeah, if they can just play good basketball, not get blown out, then Puerto Rico against South Sudan, that's going to be a hell of a game.
Nervous.
Yeah, man.
I'm nervous. That's
Shit.
the game to watch for this group. I mean,
Yep.
it's that's a do or die right there. You can't
Yeah.
really ask for much.
Are they the first game of the group?
Let me check that out real quick.
Yeah, you can tap in and figure that out.
Yeah, so for that group, let's see, July 27th, 28th. That is for Puerto Rico and Sudan, that is their first game. Yeah.
Shit.
July
And
28th.
they're gonna know the stakes right away. That's Sunday. Oh shit! I have to
Sunday.
figure out what games I want to do watch alongs.
Yo, that game is at 5 in the morning.
Oh hell
Yo,
no!
come on, bro.
Oh, that's
tough.
calm for Eddie. That's calm for Eddie. Eddie's in the
Yeah,
right place in the
yeah.
It is
world.
calm. Yeah. Oh man,
Thank you.
that's tough. That's tough. Oof.
God
That's
brought
why.
Eddie to the right place for this tournament. 5 a.m.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
But
I don't know
it's
if I'm
so
gonna be up for
funny,
that.
bro, because United is playing at fucking California time, and it's like gonna be. I'm not gonna watch it, but it's gonna be like 3 a.m. on a Sunday. Like, bro, nah.
Damn. Nah, I just
Nah.
hope I don't wake up to disappointment.
It's the first game,
Yeah.
too, bro. That's gonna be a tone setter for your Olympics.
Oh,
man,
God.
man,
I
man,
mean,
man.
I have multiple. I mean, yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
scary,
the one.
scary hours.
That's the
Yep, that is
one,
the
bro.
one.
That's a damn near like that's gonna be some playoff type shit. I can tell you right now, that game is gonna be a bloodbath. Or shout out to
Yeah.
Kate, it's gonna be a bar fight. It's gonna be a
Yep.
bar fight for
Oh,
sure.
shit.
100%. 100%. Yeah, we do all that build up and all this anticipation for the last team. Ironically, very good
The
place.
Evil Empire.
The last team, you got the U.S. Again, now it's mine and Nico's turns to go into the corners. ISO ball Eddie. You wanted to get things off your chest related to Steve Kerr, man. Let's hear it.
Bro, this guy's an abomination.
Hell yeah.
When it comes to FIBA, he's an abomination. I don't get where we have one of the most athletic teams in the entire world, and you decide to run 3 guard lineups at any point in time.
Nasty
work, bruh. This is why I said you got to have maybe an assistant coach, a high-level assistant coach, be the coach of the USA team, because when I look at Jordy in Canada, that boy can coach his ass off. I see it. Mm-hmm. Royal Ivy, same thing. And I think it's because, like, they have to be creative at all points in time. Like, they're not so stuck in their ways that they can't see past that. And when I see Steve Kerr, and I'll even fucking settle for Eric Spoelstra making the decisions, because at least I know he'll play to our strengths that are realistic. Steve Kerr, bro, you just got to give this shit up, man. I know you're trying to be a patriot and all this hoorah America type shit that we always try and preach over there, but you're not that guy. Like, without the Splash Brothers, and I know it's just like you haven't proven yourself like that.
Facts.
You have an anomaly of a basketball team. You have a 6'3" shooting guard playing point practically, and you have a 6'6" shoot. They're just shooting shots. Like, I'm sorry, just shooting shots is not going to win you FIBA tournaments. I think their best lineup is, and it's crazy because it's just me, and it's me. I'm thinking outside the box. I would literally play Steph Curry, and everybody else has to be 6'9", and you can do it. You put Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, that's number one. You put LeBron, has to be there. You put KD, and then, if I'm being real, give me somebody like Jason Tatum. There's no need for you to put out anybody. Like, when you have Steph Curry on that court, there's no need for you to put out anybody else that's like his comparable height. I do not want to see Devin Booker out there. Devin Booker has shown you he cannot play off the ball effectively. He cannot do it consistently. He can hit a couple pull-ups, and you might think, oh, he's found his space. No. Devin Booker is your ultimate heat check. If anything, you just have to start Ant Edwards. And I know you don't want to start Ant Edwards. We can tell you don't want to start him. I haven't seen enough. So, brother, it is long, bro. It is crazy how stressful this man is going to make this tournament for me, and it doesn't have to be like this. The cold part is when you watch back that South Sudan versus US game, the moment he put out players that were comparable to their size is when we came back in the game. We were down like 14, and then I think the second unit came in, and I think that second unit, I swear it was Bam, AD, I think it was definitely I'm forgetting his name. Tatum. I forget who was playing guard, but it really didn't matter because we were whooping their ass on the glass. They couldn't get past us, and we were scoring the ball. So honestly, I look at this team. They should get the job done, be first place. They shouldn't lose a game. They lost the game to France in the group stages last go around. That should not happen here. I think the breakout star, I don't know if it's gonna be a breakout star, but I think the person who's gonna get the most respect is gonna be Kevin Durant, because 7 foot and hits mid-range jump shots in his sleep, and there's nobody of his size that's out there going up against him. So he'll have a field day, and then hopefully Steph Curry from three just goes crazy. So LeBron has shown you they can't guard him either. And Embiid, listen, I don't want to sound like Gil, so I'm leaving Embiid alone. Um, let me see who else out here can do some. Yeah, I think Tatum, with his confidence, hopefully he gets his shit right. So we should win the group, but we might make it more stressful than it has to be. That I'm confident in saying.
Drew Holiday is gonna piss somebody off.
Absolutely.
The thing with Drew, even to a lesser degree, Derek White, just why? Just why? Like, if you have Ant Edwards there, I don't need Drew Holiday. I don't.
Yep.
Give me somebody who can just post up. I mean, not post up, but space the court. Be a consistent catch and shoot player. Can be decent on defense. Drew Holiday, while he does all the little things, bro, we're trying to we are operating at a deficit. Every other team knows how to play basketball together. We just have to be more talented than them to win. That's our only way to get it done. We can't play basketball with these dudes. You see it all the time. So I could go on for days. Let me chill. But yeah, don't embarrass us. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm rooting for everybody. I'm rooting for Kenya and the USA when they fucking play basketball. That's my breakdown of the Olympics, pretty much. So do not embarrass us. That's simple. Is Alam there? Do you see him?
Nah, my camera's frozen. My camera's frozen.
Oh, okay, right on.
Yeah, Alam's frozen.
Wait, is my audio not working?
No, your
audio
works.
Chill. I mean, all right. So, bro, with US, like, I think the last point Eddie made is the best one. They're not gonna like match up with other teams in terms of chemistry and like system and coaching and all that stuff, but they're just gonna be so much more talented than everybody. Yeah. You expect this team to win gold. Anything other than gold would be disappointing. I think with them, it'll be interesting to see what they settle into in terms of lineups. I like highlighting Kevin Durant because the thing about Kevin Durant is like he can do everything, right? So like if the game requires him to go get buckets, he can do that. If the game requires him to be a role player, he'll happily do that too. Like, yeah. So bro, I know he's going to play a lot. He's going to play big minutes. You know he's going to come through. I think Embiid is hilarious. Like, I just think as a figure, right? It's funny that you got a guy who is so, like, physically gifted, right? You talk about the traits that he has as a human being, bro, being so strong and so athletic. And you just see how brittle and fragile his game is. It's crazy. So, like, I just think, like, highlighting him as somebody to like kind of point and laugh at, I enjoy that. But yeah, man, the US team's gonna be good. Obviously, like I mentioned Kevin Durant, I think Anthony Edwards is gonna approach the Olympics with a whole different energy. Now, I think for the most part that's gonna be good, but I think in a team that has such a weak coaching presence, like, you know, maybe a guy like Anthony Edwards could him saying, you know, fuck this, I'm gonna go get some buckets, you know, hopefully, you know, maybe that causes some turmoil, but I don't know. I think, you know, you already know what to expect when it comes from a talent standpoint. This team's going to out-talent everybody. And they're their own worst enemy. It's going to be them. If they don't get gold, it's going to be because of them. There's nothing anybody else is going to do to take it from them. They're going to have to give it up. And that's how I see it. What are you saying, Nico?
I mean, I want to play off Alam's. For this team, it's not really about if you're going to lose. It's just going to be about how stressful the win is going to be. You know,
that's
like...
True. That's true.
It's at the end of the day, it's the evil empire, it's the Avengers, you know, it's the Monstars. They have everything. They had everything any basketball team could ever ask for, you know. So for these people, it's just, you know, you have to, you know, set arrogance and confidence to the side, and I feel like they just have to put at least 75% focus and they can win. Absolutely. But you know, in games like against South Sudan, you can clearly see that there are some holes in the coaching, but there's also some holes in the confidence level these guys have. Yes, like you guys are the best in the world. Yes, you're heated because Noah Lyle says y'all are not world champs, which is true. I don't know why they got so mad because of it. I'm not gonna lie. Like he was right. I mean, like it was nothing offensive. You feel me? Like it's the truth. You just won the American League. That's fine. It is the best league
Listen,
in the
you've
world. But
offended our American sensibilities. That's all.
exactly. Like, look,
That's all.
your ego can't be that big. It's fine. Like, it's like winning the Champions League don't mean you're a world champion in football. You know, like it's the truth. But yeah, it's basically how laser focused can they really be in this tournament? Like, how do they balance confidence and actually locking in to win some games? That's basically it. But with this team, there's just nothing I can point out that makes me think they're going to lose this tournament. Honestly, you know, they have a little bit of anger, so they have a little chip on their shoulder. A little Noah Lyles talking to them every single night when they go to sleep.
Damn.
So yeah, it's
They
basically
got
just
you.
how stressful are the wins gonna be? That's basically it.
That no Lyles aspect is a funny one because he better win and they better win. Because whoever doesn't win out of those two is gonna look
It's
crazy.
Jover.
It's
Oh
just
hell yeah,
over, bro.
hell yeah.
Whoever
I'm rooting for
if
Noah
you
Lyles.
fuck up, yeah, oh man, yeah,
Honestly, I'm
that
just
dude is
rooting.
crazy.
I'm rooting for carnage. Like I just want carnage to happen. Because whoever
Yeah,
loses, oh man, it's gonna be bad.
it's
Absolutely.
ugly. It's
But
ugly.
like,
It's ugly.
I just don't know why. I don't know why the NBA players' egos got so struck. I don't think he said anything outlandish. Like, I saw the quote before, like all the outrage, and like
Mhm.
I just brushed it off because I mean it was the truth. But then like it got so big for no reason. I'm like, yo, what's going on
Because
here?
you know how they think about it. It's like
Yeah,
we get the best players in the world to play in this
yeah.
one league, so technically, but it's like no, you're
Yeah, like
not.
the world champ is Germany. It's the World
Yeah,
Cup. You feel me?
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
like I understand why they feel that way, but they need to understand that they are systematically wrong.
No, they
That
did. It's crazy. The ego, like you said, the
it is.
ego
It's an
won't
American
allow it.
ego, of
Won't allow it. It really won't allow it. Like we
course.
can't. Yeah,
It's the truth.
it's nothing else you can attribute it to other than just the ego for
It's ego
sure.
and pride. You can't really let that
Yeah,
aside.
yeah.
Yeah, it's 100%, and they aren't even NBA champs. That's a fact, bro. You got people
It's very
moving
true.
with the ego that they haven't even quite earned. You know, like you're not even talking about guys with 4 or 5 rings talking about their own status. You're talking about people talking about a status they don't even like. That's not even relevant to them.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
But
that's
crazy.
true.
yeah, like it'll be interesting to see. I think this team again, like we said, like they're their own worst enemy. I think in this group, I'm predicting them to take it, and then Serbia 2, and then that 3-4. Again, it comes down to one game. It's really tough. I feel like I feel like I'm making a mistake by going against this South Sudanese movement.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna have to go South Sudan 3, Puerto Rico 4.
Whew.
Oof,
Tough.
interesting,
That's a tough one.
interesting,
It's a tough one.
interesting.
They've played before, right?
South Sudan and Puerto Rico? I don't think so.
I swear maybe it was last tournament. I don't know why. I thought maybe they played, but damn. Yeah, I might go. I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna probably shock the world with this one, but momentum's a hell of a drug. I'll go USA, South Sudan, Serbia.
Ooh.
I
See,
think, yeah.
Yo, that would be
And you know
unreal.
what I could see though? You know what I could see?
Yeah.
Like because there's 4 teams in the group. Like I could see the U.S. being the only undefeated team, and then
Serbia dropping a game at least.
yeah, like it could just be like 2-1, 2-2-1, like all three of them get like 2-1 type shit. I don't know if that would work, but like I could just see Yeah, it'll get crazy, bro. That group is that other than US, everything else I think is a toss up. Honestly,
Interesting.
But
you
yo,
could see Serbia could be last. Those other two teams can get that second and third spot. Like I could see that too. That's how much I believe in those other two teams.
Well, I do have a prediction.
oh, let's go. Let's go. Puerto Rico second.
It's time to shock the world, people.
Oh, hell
Look
yeah.
at the camera when I say this.
Hell yeah.
USA number 1.
Okay, uno.
Number 3, Serbia.
Hell yeah.
Number 2, Puerto Rico, papi. We're gonna shock the world. We're gonna shock the world. We are gonna shock
love
the
it.
world.
I love it. Let's go.
I love it so much. So,
And you know what? Nah, I'm playing. I was about to say we're gonna lose to South Sudan and we're gonna win against US.
Hey, give Carlos
That
a
is-
Royal the jersey. Let him go out and
Yo,
pop the collar one more
If we
time,
bring out
bro.
Carlos, everybody gangster till Carlos Arroyo has steps on the court. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
El Presidente Carlos, that's what it is.
But no,
I
in all
love it.
seriousness, with a little bias from me, of course, that's my pipe dream, of course. Like just inching past Serbia and South Sudan. But my more realistic take, I think it's gonna be USA 1, Serbia 2, Puerto Rico 3. I think we are gonna inch past South Sudan.
that's bro. This is a beautiful thing because think about it like this, right? When have we ever talked about Olympic basketball like this? Like, when has there ever been a conversation like this? Like, I put the title of the stream like, "Is this the best Olympics ever?" And I think it's just like, it
Basketball talent
definitely
has gotten so good across the whole
the
world.
basketball
By
talent
far.
all over the place. It's unreal. Like this, and this is something like this is only the start. Like I think about how for the rest of my life, this is the FIBA World Cup, this like the Olympics is gonna be something that we always have to look forward to and
Of
talk
course.
about. And like, bro, it's like I think about how this one day, could if it ever were to feel like the World Cup in football, right? If it were to
That'd
get
be
to
so
that
good.
point,
It would be
bro,
so good.
it's special stuff because international
Crazy.
basketball as a product is just
It's a good
something
product.
different than the NBA, and the NBA just
Mhm.
like it doesn't. Whatever itch you have to enjoy international basketball, the NBA does not scratch that itch. But it's just
Mhm.
it's a different product. And bro,
Absolutely,
I'm a
'cause-
huge fan. The last FIBA tournament made me a huge fan, and I just can't
Yeah.
wait to watch these games.
Absolutely, and like seeing your own, and like adding to your point, just like it's a different type of passion, just because like your pride is involved in these games as well. Watching team like countries you like or where you're from, it's just I feel like the stakes are different because you have to wait so much more longer. It's just like the World Cup or it's Copa America or the Euro. It's the
100%,
same feeling.
bro. 100%.
Can you go back to the South Sudan team real quick?
Yeah, got you.
Because I want to make sure. This kid who's going to Duke.
Yeah.
Listen, that's the anti-Joel Embiid right there.
Oh, let's go.
He is going to be a problem.
Interesting.
7'1", and he runs like you can tell he's just getting used to the game.
Right.
And what you hope is like all the outside stuff doesn't fuck up his focus because it's going to be a shell shock to him when he first comes into that.
Yeah.
But what I saw in that game when he was matched up against Embiid, yeah, if it wasn't for Cooper Flag, he'd probably be the number one pick.
Yo, I'm seeing here he's 7'2", 250, right? So you're not even talking about a lanky 7'2".
No, bruh.
Bro, he's 17. Bro, he's 17 and 250. What the?
He's moving out there,
That's
dog.
crazy.
He was shooting like elbow jump shots,
That's not usual.
and I couldn't believe it, bro. Like he is. Yeah, Duke got one. Fuck them, but they got themselves one with that one, bro. He's gonna be
250
nice.
pounds. 250 pounds at 17. I would have thought that Alabama was recruiting him. What the hell is this?
Hey,
What the?
he got a touch. He got a touch. He's gonna make a name for himself this tournament. I think a lot of these players. That's the good thing about this tournament and what we've been talking about with how the game has risen. So much visibility will be given to these guys. Like if it doesn't work out for an NBA contract, I'm sure there's a lot of European teams who could use a high level player, and they might find one in this tournament. So
Oh,
shout
yeah.
out to all the hoopers, man. It's gonna be dope to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be special for sure. And I just tapped in with the schedule. So tomorrow we're going to get a Canada and Greece watch along at 3 o'clock Eastern time. And then Sunday we're going to do US and Serbia, and it's 11:15 Eastern time. So, man, those are going to be two amazing games. I'm really looking forward to it. I was looking at the schedule. It kind of doesn't work if you're a working person on the East Coast. But I think on Saturday there's going to be the last games, and it's going to be the American group where I think it's going to be it's America against like either South Sudan or Puerto Rico, and then Serbia against the other team. So I don't know. Depending on how the group looks, maybe we'll do a watch along for that on Saturday. But next Sunday or Monday, there'll be days off before the quarterfinals. So we'll definitely have to tap in and do a recap of the group stage and a preview of the quarterfinals. So make sure you guys watch for that. Any closing thoughts from the guys?
I'm just looking forward to this tournament. Honestly, I'm like, I can't wait to see it. Like, I can't wait to see what group is like shaken up, because I feel like there's always that one team that surprises everybody.
Unexpected. Yeah.
I want to see who the Cinderella is in this story.
To be honest, calling your shot with Puerto Rico or South Sudan, like this is the group where you think the surprise would happen, especially because of how strong the other two teams are, right? Like that's gonna make people kind of like sleep on these two teams. But yeah, if you had to predict a dark horse or just a team that's gonna surprise people, South Sudan, Puerto Rico, this is the group.
It's the ones to watch,
Yeah.
honestly.
That's why I kind of wish it was more of like a bigger like group, because
Okay, cool.
it just like it feels so constricted. These guys having to play like these teams, you feel me? Like
It's cutthroat. It's good. Must see
it's
TV.
cutthroat for sure, you know.
Must see
And I'm
TV.
just like, I do want to say like, hopefully, at the end of this, the NBA takes notice that like the way they play basketball isn't a good model, and it's not sustainable in the long run.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And in the same bracket, I hope a lot of these dudes who play for international teams get the respect they deserve, because literally, like when we talk about it, bruh, everybody who's out there is a hooper.
Oh yeah.
Like, you might not know their names, but they're playing high level basketball. So that'll be I think the games will be so dope because the basketball level will be so high, and we're in for a fucking treat, boys. Like I'm definitely with y'all. Like, I'm super excited to see what happens just as a fan of the game. Like, fuck if I'm rooting for America. Like, if another team spanks America, it's because they deserved it and they showed them how to play basketball. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be really fun.
Absolutely.
Hey, to borrow a great concept from Scalabrini, for anybody who's talking a little bit too loosely about these players, like they're closer to LeBron than you are to them.
Absolutely. These people are really good players. Like,
these guys are really good at what
real
they do.
talent.
Really good at what they do. And man, yeah, like the excitement's unreal. I've never thought about international basketball like this. I've never really been excited for international basketball like this. It's going to be special though, people. So make sure you guys stay tapped in. To anybody still watching, we got 7 people watching live. I'm sure we're going to get a bunch of people watching on replay. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Run up the numbers so YouTube knows to share this shit with other people. We will be back tapped in at some point after the group stage. And we got the 2 watch longs coming up. So make sure you guys subscribe to make sure you don't miss out on anything. Yeah. I'm about ready to start this Friday night. You guys have a good time. I'm out.
I'll see you, bros.
Peace.